Here we have the code for the queue class implemented using a linked list. Now what we'll see here is that this is actually a pretty simple implementation of a queue. The two methods that are the most interesting are enqueue and dequeue. Enqueue simply adds the item provided to the end of the list. It doesn't have to worry about whether the list is empty or what other items might be in the list. The item being added should simply go to the end of the list. Dequeue will simply take the first item in the list, store it off into a temporary variable, remove the first item, and then return the stored value. So it's pulling off the first item in the list and returning it. If the list is empty, an exception is thrown. Now because it's a collection type, I've added some of the general things we expect. For example, peek. Peek is going to return the first item or the head item in the queue. If the queue is empty, an exception is thrown. Otherwise, the first value is returned. Count returns the number of items in the list, which is equal to the number of items in the queue. And queue clears the list, which clears the queue. Because our type is enumerable, we provide the enumerator methods, and all we need to do is defer to the list. Now, being able to defer to the list is only possible because we're storing these items in first to last order. We're adding the items to the end of the list, which means the value that we want to enumerate first is the front of the list, and that's exactly how a list enumerator works, and that's why we store items in that order. So as you can see, implementing a queue using a linked list is quite simple.